Sydney, make some goddamn noise! So I just recently moved houses, which is cool, man. I went from a predominantly black neighborhood into a white neighborhood, and I wanted to do the right thing, so I went door knocking to let the friendly white people of my apartment know that I live here. Don't call the cops. So I went and I knocked at the apartment across the hall, and this sweet old lady opened the door, and I was like, hey, my name is... She's like, help! But she said help with such fear in her voice, I thought someone was behind me. So I panicked and jumped in her apartment and locked the door. Oh, no. But she just kept calling out for help. She's like, help, help. I'm like, ma'am, my name is Emo. I'm your new neighbor. I just want to let you know if you ever need anything, just give me a shout. As I'm walking off, I hear her say, we don't keep cash in the premises. I'm like, what? I did love the area I'm living in. The scariest thing I've had in my area was a Jehovah's Witness knocking at my door. You ever had one of those? He's like, hey, my name's Ezekiel. I'm like, hey, Ezekiel, my name's Emo. He's like, hey, Emo, can I ask you a question? Have you found Jehovah? I'm like, no, I haven't, Ezekiel, but I can't do this with you right now because I have to take my daughter swimming. He goes, oh, okay, cool. Comes back a week later. He's like, hey, Emo, have you found Jehovah? I'm like, no, I haven't, Ezekiel, but I can't do this with you right now because I have to take my daughter snorkeling. Obviously, both of those excuses were lies because everybody knows black people don't swim. Third week he comes over, he's like, hey, Emo, have you found Jehovah? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And he just starts getting judgy. He goes, well then, mate, you're lost. I'm like, Ezekiel, you've been in my house 3 weeks in a row looking for this Jehovah fellow. And you have the nerve to say, I'm lost? If we've learned anything over the last few years, ladies and gentlemen, we're a lot more smarter now, we're a lot more socially conscious. Like, ma'am, do you remember when they first started charging 15 cents for plastic bags? Do you remember that? I was at the grocery store behind this African lady, and she had just found out they were charging 15 cents for the plastic bags. Cashier was scanning items. Boop, boop, boop. Ma'am, would you like to purchase some plastic bags for 15 cents? African lady's like, what for? Cashier's like, ma'am, we have to get rid of old plastic bags and bring out these new ones. And the African lady's like, I'm not paying for these plastic bags. And then she started stacking the grocery on her head. And then she just walks out. The cashier's like, oh my God, that is some gangster stuff. But at the same time, I didn't want to get left behind. I was like, wait for me, mama. Ladies and gents, I've been Emo Majok. Thank you.